Good evening and welcome to Trinity Lutheran Church on this Good Friday. Thank you to those of you here in our sanctuary and for those of you who are joining us as a part of our online church this evening. Today is the somberest day of the church year, the day as we remember the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. Tonight, our service is a tenebrae service, a service of shadows, and I want to give you just a few notes to help you throughout tonight's worship service. First, if you have an offering for Good Friday, there are baskets here on the floor that you are welcome to place your offering in on your way out of the sanctuary this evening. Our service will end in complete silence tonight, and so we ask that you leave the sanctuary quietly, so those who would like to stay and remain here, you're welcome to as long as you would like in prayer and reflection. After each of the musical pieces this evening, we will refrain from applause. We won't applause again until Easter Sunday. We'll gather tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. for our Easter Vigil out in the Columbarium with the first fire of the Easter season at 7:30 p.m. And on Easter Sunday, we'll worship at 8:30, 9:45, and 10:45. All three of our services will include Holy Communion, and they'll be located here in our sanctuary. Our pattern tonight is that there will be a reading. That reading will then be followed by a response of some sort, and then one of the 7 candles on the altar will be extinguished. We invite you that when we hear of Jesus' crucifixion to follow Pastor Jonathan and myself as we kneel. You're invited to remain seated, but you are invited to kneel as we hear of the crucifixion. We begin tonight as Emily leads us in our prelude, Tree of Life and Awesome Mystery. Thank you for your presence this evening.
Grace to you, and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. Blessed be the name of the Lord our God, who redeems us from sin and death. For us and for our salvation, Christ became obedient unto death, even death on a cross. Blessed be the name of the Lord.
A reading from Matthew. When it was evening, he took his place with the 12, and while they were eating, he said, "Truly, I tell you, one of you will betray me." And they became greatly distressed and began to say to him, one after another, "Surely not I, Lord." He answered, "The one who has dipped his hand into the bowl with me will betray me. The Son of Man goes as it is written of him. But woe to that one by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It would have been better for that one not to have been born." Judas, who betrayed him, said, "Surely not I, Rabbi." He replied, "You have said so."
Then Jesus went with them to a place called Gethsemane, and he said to his disciples, "Sit here while I go over there and pray." He took with him Peter and the two sons of Zebedee and began to be grieved and agitated. Then he said to them, "I am deeply grieved, even to death. Remain here and stay awake with me." And going a little further, he threw himself on the ground and prayed, "My Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me. Yet not what I want, but what you want." Then he came to the disciples and found them sleeping. And he said to Peter, "So, could you not stay awake with me 1 hour? Stay awake and pray that you may not come into the time of trial. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak." Again, he went away for the second time and prayed, "My Father, if this cannot pass unless I drink it, your will be done." Again, he came and found them sleeping, for their eyes were heavy. So leaving them again, he went away and prayed for the third time, saying the same words. Then he came to the disciples and said to them, "Are you still sleeping and taking your rest? See, the hour is at hand, and the Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. Get up, let us be going. See, my betrayer is at hand." While he was still speaking, Judas, one of the 12, arrived. With him was a large crowd with swords and clubs from the chief priests and the elders of the people. Now the betrayer had given them a sign, saying, "The one I will kiss is the man. Arrest him." At once he came up to Jesus and said, "Greetings, Rabbi," and kissed him. Jesus said to him, "Friend, do what you are here to do." Then they came and laid hands on Jesus and arrested him.
Stay with me, remain here with me, watch and pray, watch and pray. Stay with me, remain here with me, watch and pray.
Now Peter was sitting outside the courtyard. A servant girl came to him and said, "You also were with Jesus, the Galilean." But he denied it before all of them, saying, "I do not know what you are talking about." When he went out to the porch, another servant girl saw him, and she said to the bystanders, "This man was with Jesus the Nazareth." Again he denied it with an oath, "I do not know the man." After a little while, the bystanders came up to him and said, "Peter, certainly you are also one of them, for your accent betrays you." Then he began to curse and he swore an oath, "I do not know the man." At that moment, the cock crowed. Then Peter remembered what Jesus had said, "Before the cock crows, you will deny me 3 times." And he went out and wept bitterly.
Beloved sinner, it's easier to stand in the dark than to follow the light, to deny the truth for a chance at life, to sin in the face of sinners than to sin in the face of God, and turn our backs to then cry for our flaws. But in the search for grace, he will give us another chance, opening up his arms and blessing us with his hands, being our true shepherd and saving the lost lamb.
A reading from Matthew. Now Jesus stood before the governor, and the governor asked him, "Are you the king of the Jews?" Jesus said, "You say so." But when he was accused by the chief priests and elders, he did not answer. Then Pilate said to him, "Do you not hear how many accusations they make against you?" But he gave him no answer, not even to a single charge, so that the governor was greatly amazed. Now the chief priests and the elders persuaded the crowds to ask for Barabbas and to have Jesus killed. The governor again said to them, "Which of the 2 do you want me to release for you?" And they said, "Barabbas." Pilate said to them, "Then what should I do with Jesus, who is called the Messiah?" All of them said, "Let him be crucified." Then he asked, "Why? What evil has he done?" But they shouted all the more, "Let him be crucified."
So when Pilate saw that he could do nothing, but rather that a riot was beginning, he took some water and washed his hands before the crowd, saying, "I am innocent of this man's blood. See to it yourselves." Then the people as a whole answered, "His blood be on us and on our children." So he released Barabbas for them, and after flogging Jesus, he handed him over to be crucified. Then the soldiers of the governor took Jesus into the governor's headquarters, and they gathered the whole cohort around him. They stripped him and put a scarlet robe on him, and after twisting some thorns into a crown, they put it on his head. They put a reed in his right hand and knelt before him and mocked him, saying, "Hail, King of the Jews!"
A reading from Matthew. After mocking him, they stripped him of the robe and put his own clothes on him. Then they led him away to crucify him. As they went out, they came upon a man from Cyrene named Simon. They compelled this man to carry his cross. And when they came to a place called Golgotha, which means place of a skull, they offered him wine to drink mixed with gall. But when he tasted it, he would not drink it. And when they had crucified him, they divided his clothes among themselves by casting lots. Then they sat down there and kept watch over him. Over his head they put the charge against him, which read, "This is Jesus, the King of the Jews." Then 2 bandits were crucified with him, one on his right and one on his left. Those who passed by derided him, shaking their heads and saying, You who would destroy the temple and build it in 3 days, save yourself. If you are the Son of God, come down from the cross. In the same way, the chief priests also, along with scribes and elders, were mocking him, saying, "He saved others. He cannot save himself. He is the King of Israel. Let him come down from the cross now, and we will believe in him. He trusts in God. Let God deliver him now, if he wants to, for he said, 'I am God's son.'"
From noon on, darkness came over the whole land until 3 in the afternoon. And about 3 o'clock, Jesus cried out with a loud voice, "Eli, Eli, lema sabachthani." That is, my God, why have you forsaken me?" When some of the bystanders heard it, they said, "This man is calling for Elijah." At once one of them ran and got a sponge, filled it with sour wine, put it on a stick, and gave it to him to drink. But the others said, "Wait, let us see whether Elijah will come to save him." Then Jesus cried again with a loud voice and breathed his last. At that moment, the curtain of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom. The earth shook and the rocks were split.
When it was evening, a rich man from Arimathea named Joseph, who was also a disciple of Jesus, he came to Pilate and asked for the body of Jesus. Then Pilate ordered that it be given to him. So Joseph took the body and wrapped it in a clean linen and laid it in his own new tomb, which he had hewn in the rock. He then rolled a great stone to the door of the tomb and went away.